The question was, how bad would it get? In the days and weeks that followed, the Central Powers continued to slice through the Italians. Rommel even disobeyed orders for a tactical retreat to press on against another Italian position, which his unit captured. Austro-Hungarian General Sviatozar Borojevich's army joined into the advance, forcing the Italian Third Army to accelerate its retreat to avoid being cut off. The Italian Second Army was a shadow of its former self, consisting mostly of columns of men retreating as fast as they could, fleeing groups of deserters, or long lines of prisoners marching to the east. Rommel's small unit alone captured 2 entire regiments of the Salerno Brigade, whom they convinced to surrender. Austrian officer Julius Kugi witnessed the mass of prisoners moving back from the line. The whole time, crowds of prisoners moved past us towards Golobar. We saw wounded among them, and there were many tragic and heart-rending images. Transports continued to pass, even throughout the night. They were all hungry and exhausted, but since we ourselves had nothing to eat, we couldn't help them. Back on the battlefield, by October 29th, Austro-Hungarian troops were closing on the Tagliamento River. The panicked Italians blew up the Eiffel Bridge, trapping 2 entire divisions on the eastern bank and condemning most of them to captivity. Draconian orders allowed officers to execute stragglers at will, scenes that Red Cross ambulance driver Ernest Hemingway would later work into his novel A Farewell to Arms. The Italian route continued across the river, but former Austro-Hungarian overall commander Franz Konrad von Hötzendorf's army made slow progress in the north. Some German generals expected Konrad might be able to Sedanize the Italians and cut them off from the rear, but these hopes went unrealized. German commanders decided to press on farther than originally planned, and the other Central Powers armies continued their race across northern Italy, crossing the Livenza River on November 6th. The advance and news of victory brought joy to an exhausted Austro-Hungarian public. Newspapers wrote of the Wunder von Karfreitz, the miracle of Caporetto, and the government launched a war bonds campaign with the enthusiastic support of the Catholic Church. In the last few days, our glorious armies have begun a splendid offensive against the hereditary enemy and have not only wrung from him the fruits of his 11 Isonzo battles, but have driven him deep within his own country. Obviously, heaven is with us. God himself has put us in the right mood for the 7th war bond. Kaiser Karl, Kaiser Wilhelm, and Bulgaria's Tsar Ferdinand all visited the liberated and occupied areas as well. But their forces were also suffering from exhaustion, hunger, and shortages of supplies.